How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Theme Park Shark Live. Excited to be doing another one with you guys. We're back. We're here for more. Every Saturday is the current schedule right now for Theme Park Shark Live. Kind of doing like a Saturday Night Live thing, obviously like the famous show, Theme Park Shark Saturday Night Live. So every Saturday night, we'll be coming on. We'll be talking with you guys. Don't forget about the schedule. Doing it right around this time every Saturday, give or take an hour. Right in this time frame is when we're going to be coming on every Saturday night. Topics are always going to change. Questions are always going to change. And you might even get some different answers from me on your questions as information gets passed on and things change around the theme park world. So it's always a good idea to come in here and get up to speed on the latest that's happening in the theme park world. So without further ado, we'll start off with an applause. Very good. Glad that you guys are here. I'm going to be answering all of your questions. So if you do have a question, if there's something that's changed in the theme park world that you have thoughts on or a comment on, even doesn't even have to be a question, just if it's a thought or if it's a comment you have, now is the time to begin putting it in the chat box so I can answer all of you guys' questions throughout the entirety of these streams. These streams tend to last about 30 minutes to an hour, and I'm here for you guys. I run through your questions, I run through your topics, I run through the things that you want to hear. So completely dictated by the audience. You guys get to decide the topics that we talk about all through the comment box. So this is your show just as much as it's my show. So first and foremost, I just got back yesterday from a trip to Texas. SeaWorld San Antonio just opened up a brand new wooden roller coaster. It's actually going to open next week, but they had their media preview where they allowed members of the media to come over and ride the coaster before the general public. So I did get to go there. I did get to ride the coaster. It is going to be the tallest, fastest, and longest wooden coaster in the entire state of Texas. So it's a very exciting wooden coaster. It's a great addition to the SeaWorld San Antonio Park. So I was very excited to get out there and ride it. If you guys haven't seen that video already, I've already uploaded the complete point of view. There's a reverse point of view of me on the ride, and there's also a back row perspective, and it's all three kind of meshed into one point of view video. So it's a really cool and interesting video. Theme Park Shark. All right, so I'm already reading some of you guys' questions. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here as always, guys. I'm very excited that you guys are here. Going to jump into probably some of the big topics that you guys are interested in. Before I jump into this question, if you are in here, I already see there's over 20 of you in here. There is no reason not to go ahead and drop a like right now. if you guys drop a like on the stream, it actually encourages YouTube and my subscriber box to keep pushing this live stream out to even more of my subscribers. So there will be even more of people coming in here, sharing with you guys, sharing with me, asking questions. So it makes the live stream better if you guys do leave a like on the stream. So if you're in here, please do leave a like on the stream. It helps all of us. So that's the first thing I'm going to ask of you guys. But for now, I'm here for you guys. I'm going to be doing things for you. No more doing things for me. Let's answer Julian's question here. How long is the Jurassic World refurb? I'm going to give you guys some big info here. This is something that not a lot of YouTubers like to dive into. This is something that not a lot of theme park reviewers, bloggers, whatever you want to call theme park insiders, not a lot of people dive into how long the actual refurb is going to be. But I have a pretty good idea how long it's going to be. Right now, Universal actually has an estimated time frame where they want to get this done pretty much before April Fool's Day. So right around the end of March, which ironically, or maybe not ironically if you really think about it, is right around the opening of Secret Life of Pets as well. Let me give you guys an exact date on Pets. That's March 27th. So don't be surprised if we potentially see a soft open for Secret Life of Pets just before March 27th. And also don't be surprised if we see Jurassic World reopen from its refurbishment right around March 27th. March 27th feels like a golden date. And if people are going to be coming to the park specifically for the opening, the grand opening of Secret Life of Pets, I think Universal is going to want to have Jurassic World back open. So definitely keep in mind that is probably the time frame we're looking at on this attraction to come back. I feel very confident in that. Very, very confident. Celine, your videos are amazing. I'm visiting California with my family this March. Well, first of all, Celine, thank you so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate the kind comment. I love making these videos for you guys. They're a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys can tell this is my passion. I absolutely love theme parks. My entire goal with my channel has always been to make you guys feel that you're at the park with me, or that, when we do a video like this and I have the cool music playing before the live streams even start, just that feeling of euphoria and happiness that you get when you're walking into a theme park. I've always tried to capture that magic and put it in my videos. So you'll even notice I open up a lot of my videos with "Welcome to Universal Studios" or "Welcome to Disneyland," and I play like the theme park music. I just try to capture that feeling of being at the park. So I do appreciate that you love my videos, and I hope you have a great time in California when you come out here. I think you're going to have an awesome time. Melanie, you said it's perfect timing for the streams. That's amazing. That's really cool that it's a good time in Australia. I didn't even know. I didn't plan it that way. This is just like kind of nighttime here in California. So doing like a Saturday Night Live thing. But if it is a good time for you too, that is amazing. And I'm glad it's a good time for you. Living with John said he's a little late. That's okay, John. I forgive you. You come to enough of these. You definitely got to pass on being late. It's okay. Chris, Theme Park Shark Live needs its own logo. Completely agree. I should actually start putting that, I think, as like a watermark in the stream here, kind of like how we have, I guess, down here, this little Theme Park Shark Live. I think I should make an official logo that sits down there. I really like that idea. That's a good idea. Melanie wants to know if there's any more updates on the Indominus Rex. That's a great question, Melanie. As of now, it's everything that we've thought to this point. Everything is staying true. As far as physical updates that we've seen thus far on the attraction, boats have been taken out. They're removed from the ride. Water's been drained. There's no water right now on the ride.
Have a tram.
And they've even... Oh, Hector, thank you so much for donating super chat. Hopefully you guys like the Tramtastic Day chime. Can't tell you how much I appreciate your super chat, Hector. But let me keep answering your question, Melanie. As of right now, there is the Jurassic World signage is back on the attraction. So at the very top of the drop, they took away the sign and now it's back. So that's pretty exciting. I'm glad it's back. But as far as the Indominus Rex, it's pretty much exactly what we've thought to this point. We know it's coming. It's just a matter of time. And as soon as the attraction opens, it's going to be there, and it's going to be battling the T-Rex in a much more grand way than how it used to be. I've seen a few YouTubers actually go on the record as saying that Universal isn't going to change anything, that they're just going to open up the attraction exactly how it was and do a usual seasonal refurb. That is not the case. This is a change. This is a big change in the ride. It's a 6 to 7 week refurb, I guess, if we're really thinking about it. It's not a seasonal refurb. This is the real deal. They are changing the ride. So keep that in mind, guys. I KV, do I think Disney could ever do anything similar to HHN in their parks with the Fox properties like American Horror Story? Things that aren't super family friendly, and I guess obviously kind of in key with the Disney brand, as you would obviously think as well. I just don't see it happening. They tried to kind of do something similar here at California Adventure last year with Oogie Boogie Bash. They had a Villains Grove, and they had like a walkthrough area where they kind of did some spooky stuff. They'll never do anything to the level of Horror Nights, at least not in the foreseeable future. It just doesn't align with their brand, regardless of the brands that they're going out and purchasing. At Disneyland, it just doesn't fit with the park. If it happens anywhere here in California, it will be at California Adventure. But scaring guests really bad doesn't really align with the brand. So I don't see it happening soon, but maybe in the future. You never know. Celine's asking me if the ride queues for Disneyland Universal Studios will be very long in March. Most likely. Tends to be a time when a lot of people come here for spring break. Our own spring break here in California is kind of spread out between March and even some of April, believe it or not. So it really depends. Weekends are always busy no matter what, but weekdays in March tend to be a little more busy than weekdays in other months just because of spring break. So that is something to keep in mind. Julian said, I saw the Jurassic World boats in storage while on the studio tour at Universal. Is this a sign that it is something big? Yes and no. They are doing something big with the refurb, but taking out boats during a water refurbishment, water ride refurbishment, especially Jurassic World and even Jurassic Park, pretty standard protocol as far as draining the entire ride and taking out the boat. So not a big deal, just kind of to be expected, to be honest. Thank you guys so much for being here. Jacob wants to know if I have any rumors or hopes for Halloween Horror Nights on either coast. Not a rumor, but actually a confirmation. We kind of got might have been an accidental announcement on Universal's part that we're going to have The Walking Dead come back for Horror Nights. I didn't understand people's criticism of that announcement. A lot of people were like, "Wow, Universal's just closing The Walking Dead to bring it back for Horror Nights." Yeah, but the thing with that is we kind of knew this the whole time. Everybody has asked me, what's going to happen with The Walking Dead over the next few months? What's going to happen? I've told everyone it's going to be empty. They're not going to do anything until Horror Nights. So if it's going to be empty and they're not doing anything until Horror Nights, that means most of the sets are going to remain for the time being. The only reason they're closing today or in a few weeks is because of Pets. If Pets wasn't around, that ride would stay until Horror Nights. This isn't like we're trying to save money or we're trying to do this, that, or the other, even though it's kind of like a secondary positive that goes along with it. If Pets wasn't opening in the next few weeks, Walking Dead wouldn't be closing. So I don't have such a problem with that, but it is kind of interesting to note that Walking Dead will be around for Horror Nights here in Hollywood. They're going to utilize the same building, but they probably will change up the maze and add a few new scenes. So that's kind of cool. Hector, thank you again for the super chat. I'm still scrolling through the chat, and I want to thank you again once more. I really do appreciate that. That's very kind. Julian wants to know if I'm going to go to The Walking Dead, which is closing on March 4th. I'm going to be there. I want to take part in it. If I can go through and film it, they tend to be a little tense on filming that attraction, but I'm a really big historical theme park fan. I like to document rides. I like to document attractions. I like to make sure that I have things preserved on my account for everyone to see for years to come. I kind of wish I was doing this a long time ago so I could have preserved as best as I could some of the old rides and shows that have closed. I take a lot of pride in my quality on my point of views, whether it's a show, whether it's a ride, whether it's anything, to be honest. So I just take a lot of pride and I try to make them as good as they can be. So it's kind of a goal of mine, especially with a closed or defunct attraction, to make sure it's documented appropriately. So even though I'm not a big fan of horror, I might go to the park on March 4th and go through it just to document it appropriately for you guys and have it as a theme park fan for the rest of the time. I think that's important. Great question, Johan. I appreciate you asking this question. How did I like Texas Stingray? So if you guys don't know what Texas Stingray is, some of you have been barded by it on my Instagram and on Twitter. Texas Stingray is a brand new wooden coaster at SeaWorld San Antonio. It's absolutely fantastic. It's the tallest, longest, and fastest wooden coaster in the entire state of Texas, and it's at SeaWorld. So that's pretty cool. SeaWorld invited me out for their media day it was yesterday. They invited me out yesterday. Sorry, days are squishing through and going crazy for me. It was yesterday. It was a great time. I had a fun time on the coaster. I have the point of view up for you guys on the channel already. There's a reverse point of view, a back row perspective, and a front row perspective from my eyes It's a very cool video. It's all meshed together on one look. So it's really cool, and I do encourage you guys to check out that point of view and check out Texas Stingray if you ever do get a chance to be in the state of Texas. It's a fun coaster, and it opens up in a week. Christian, good to see you. I appreciate you being here, Christian. Thank you so much. Happy Place Explorers. It is a big change. Jurassic World is a big change. Get it through your head now. I promise you. It's going to be bigger than... Big is subjective, obviously, but if you're going to tell me that nothing is changing, I'm going to tell you that something is changing. Answer this question for Julian already. Another comment from Happy Place. It's a fix, new endo, new gyrosphere. Nothing else is promised. How's that not big? A new Indominus Rex? A new gyrosphere? That's big. That's changes to the ride. That's not a refurb. That's big to me. Hector wants to know if Universal Hollywood needs a new show. Personally, I don't think so. I think this kind of depends on, a lot of your guys' perspective and opinions. But for me personally, especially comparing it to the Orlando Resort, we pretty much already have more shows than that entire Orlando Resort of 2 parks, University of Florida and Islands of Adventure. So at one park at Hollywood, we basically already have more shows. We have the tram. I don't think we need more shows. I think we need more rides. Chris wants to know when Jake will be dropping into Theme Park Shark Live. That is an absolutely great question. I tried to get Jake for you guys on this live stream, but unfortunately he is in New Orleans. I think he's doing stuff for Mardi Gras, so he wasn't able to come to this live stream. But next Saturday, I will try to get Jake for you guys. I think he'll be a great addition to the show, and I will get Jake on for Theme Park Shark Live next Saturday. I will do my best to do that for you guys. Bloxy Boy, my idea is when you enter Predator Cove, the Indominus case is closed, and then when you pass the cage, the gates fly open, and a head of the Indominus jumps out and roars at the boat. Fantastic. That would be fantastic. That would be fun. Hector saying I have to do Horror Nights. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe one day I'll do Horror Nights. It's a tough one, guys. I'm just not a fan of horror. I love theme parks. I don't love horror. All right, Bloxy Boy wants to know, in Epcot, am I excited for Cosmic Rewind? Double-edged sword. I think I'm excited for the idea. I'm excited for the ride. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But as other people have argued, it kind of takes away from the core principles of Epcot. It doesn't really make sense. Epcot's always kind of been about learning about the Earth, very educational, very real life and grounded, not very fictional. So kind of a double-edged sword, the fact that, Guardians of the Galaxy is going over there, but I'm excited. I think it'll be a fun attraction at the very least. Kind of have to remove myself from being negative about the changes to Epcot. And if I can do that, I think it's a fun ride. Great question. This is a wonderful question. What's going on with the Despicable Me restaurant at Universal? If you guys don't know, there is a little small, almost a quick service, I guess. It's not a full service restaurant, so I guess a quick service. It's called Gru's Lab Cafe. Pretty much gone. Complete remodel. As far as what I've heard, they are keeping it a restaurant. They are just changing the name, and they are keeping the Despicable Me theming. So it's going to be less Gru and think more Minions. So it's just kind of a change of name and a change of theming from what I've heard. That's what I've heard. Still going down these questions for you guys. Another one from Julian, I appreciate it. You introduced my channel to your friends, and they said they love the content. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Can't tell you how much I appreciate that. Oh, Hector did the super chat, so I am going to shout out your IG. Shout out to @theuniversal Hector on Instagram. If you guys aren't following Hector, go follow Hector. Amazing. Thank you again for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Do I have an educated guess when Bourne may soft open? If anything, it is exactly that. It would be an educated guess. Oh man, how fantastic was that vlog that Jake went out and did for you guys, though? Just seeing those doors fly open at the finale really got me excited. Curious what you guys thought of that vlog. If you haven't seen it, definitely go watch our Jason Bourne vlog that we put out about 3 or 4 days ago. Completely incredible. The finale for this new Universal Studios show blew open the doors during its finale. It's incredible. But as far as when it will soft open, I think the most educated guess that I could give you is within the month. Within the next 3 to 4 weeks, it will soft open. If it comes within the next week or two, color me surprised. But we'll see. We'll see. Because I could also see it happening. Because it's also kind of like, it's a strange thing where I could be like, it's not going to happen. But To be honest, it might. So I think the safe bet, like I said, is within that 3 to 4 week stretch, maybe the next week or two. We'll see. So Melanie wants to know if I think they will do anything with Predator Cove. The answer is yes. I do think they're going to do something with Predator Cove. We don't know what. We don't know to what extent, but we do know that they're going to do something. It's been getting pretty much the most complaints outside of the finale from people that ride the ride. So in my opinion, it is pretty much top of list for Universal Creative to take a look at. And from the conversations that we have had with Universal executives that have been outside the ride, that have been willing to talk with us, they've kind of alluded to the fact that they know Predator Cove is one of the weaker areas of the ride. This is Jurassic World, the ride, obviously, if you guys aren't aware. So I do think something will happen with Predator Cove. Kind of as Happy Place Explorers mentioned, there is something that could potentially happen with a gyrosphere within that section of the ride. That's what I wanted to see. A very long time ago, the first time I ever reviewed Jurassic World, the ride, I actually said that I wanted to see a gyrosphere in the little tree bush area where the Indominus Rex had ripped through the railing and the bars. That's pretty much the main area where I want to see that. So I kind of want to see just crashing, maybe steaming, just add a little more action in that area. So I do think something will happen with Predator Cove. Absolutely, Melanie. That's a great question. Johan wants to know, what do I think of the new Jurassic Park themed roller coaster that's coming to Universal Orlando? Man, Islands of Adventure just keeps getting better and better and better, doesn't it? Islands of Adventure is a fantastic park. Every time I look away, I feel like I look back and they're building another great attraction. That park is just it's an anomaly, to be honest, how great that park is becoming. I mean, they get Hagrid's and now they get this. So fantastic park. I think this is another great addition to the park. It's obviously a thrill park between Hulk and now this. I think it's a fantastic park. It's well rounded. It's well themed. This one of the reasons, in my opinion, why I have said on many occasions that I think Islands of Adventure might be the best park in America. It's in the top 3 for sure. But yeah, I'm very excited for this coaster. I don't think there's any question that that's going to be a fantastic coaster. The Jurassic brand is so big; it has so many fans that are passionate about the brand. So I think it's a home run hit there for Universal. I think it's going to be fantastic. Julian wants to know, when's the best time to go to Disneyland? I think that depends on your preference. Do you prefer to be in the crowd? Do you like the excitement of a crowd and seeing people that are kind of, taking the sights of Disneyland? Or do you prefer a slow and quiet day? If you prefer a slow and quiet day, you can get that on most weekdays, Monday through Thursday. If you want the crowd, go Friday through Sunday. If you go in the summer, or if you go during like the peak time in the winter, like December 23rd until January 2nd, pretty much no matter what, you're going to be in a crowd. So depends what you're looking for. Random Epilo wants to know, when do I think Secret Life of Pets will open to guess a month? So I don't have to guess. Secret Life of Pets is officially announced to open on March 27th by Universal Studios Hollywood. That is official. That is a hard date. No matter what, the ride will be open. But with that said, don't be surprised if we do see soft openings and we see this ride open 3 to 4, maybe even 5 days before the official opening date announced by Universal Studios Hollywood. I would not be surprised at all if that ride has already been in operation for about 4 to 5 days before the official grand opening. Keep that in mind. We'll have a better idea as soon as we hear rumors that team members have been invited to ride the ride. That's usually the first sign that we're close to a soft opening. But keep that in mind. It is official. That's official. Tron says that I think there will be a gyrosphere in Predator Cove where the boat was in Jurassic Park ride. See, that's interesting. So if you guys can't picture this, when you enter Predator Cove, that boat used to be off to the left of your boat. You could look off this way, and you could see that boat being torn up by the dinosaurs. You could see the Mickey Mouse ears floating in the water. It's funny you say that because that's the opposite of where I've predicted the gyrosphere to go. I predicted it to go in the right, in the grassy area where the Indominus Rex cages currently are. So we'll see. We'll see who's right. Might be you, might be me. We'll see. But I think either way, a cool thing that we can both agree is that, yeah, there probably will be a gyrosphere in this section of the park. Super cool. Over 30 of you in here. Can't thank you so much for coming to Theme Park Shark Live. If you've never done Theme Park Shark Live, this is our second time doing this. We're doing this every Saturday night. It's dictated by you guys. I answer your questions. Sometimes I come in here with a set kind of storyline and, kind of like topics that we're going to follow. But for the most part, I do like to make this your show, and I do like to answer your questions, get you guys as involved as possible, a very interactive show. So over 30 of you, can't thank you enough for coming. Hopefully you'll keep coming every Saturday night as we keep doing these. If you are in here, don't forget to drop a like. It helps the live stream get pushed out to even more people so we can have even more fun, have even more questions, and have even more conversation in here. So I definitely do appreciate that. And I can't thank you guys enough for spending your Saturday night here at Theme Park Shark Live. Very cool. Hector says he'll guard me through Halloween Horror Nights as a 14-year veteran. That's impressive, going to Horror Nights for 14 years. Last year's Horror Nights was my first year doing it, mainly because I was invited. But yeah, if we're going to be completely honest, I didn't make it out of Starbucks. So I walked in, I went into Starbucks. I loved that the monsters couldn't come into the store too, and I just kind of waved. That was the extent of my Horror Nights. Entertainer, thanks for coming back. I appreciate you coming to another episode of Theme Park Shark Live. What theme park ride system has the potential to be put in a theme park that I'm most anticipating? So I understand your question. Entertainer basically just wants to know what ride system that I've heard about coming am I most excited about. Probably the Robo Coaster. If you guys don't know what the Robo Coaster is, Alicia, Stella, and I talked about it in our Classic Monsters episode. Classic Monsters is obviously an island or world of Universal's Epic Universe, which is a brand new theme park coming to Orlando by Universal Studios. Classic Monsters is going to be a world within that theme park. So now that we've established that, the Robo Coaster is kind of like the leading rumored ride system that's going to be going in the centerpiece attraction of Classic Monsters. So if you guys don't know what the Robo Coaster is, it's basically, you have to imagine Forbidden Journey. The best way to do it, think about Forbidden Journey, think about the flying bench, but take it up a notch. So Forbidden Journey is always on a flat piece of land. Your bench moves around, but your arm is on a flat piece of track. The Robo Coaster takes it up a notch, and it puts that arm and the flying bench, and it puts it on a roller coaster track. So it will go sideways, and it'll go up and down, it'll spiral up and down. So it kind of takes Forbidden Journey to the next level. So I'm really excited to see what happens when you make Forbidden Journey in the 2020s. I think that's exactly how you can describe that ride. So the roller coaster is what I'm most excited about, believe it or not. Hector says Hollywood needs Universal Monsters Land built just like Epic Universe. So funny you say this. I think it fits really well. I think it fits super well. Especially if we potentially lose Mummy one day. I think you take out Mummy, you take out some sound stages behind it, and you lose one monster attraction, Mummy, for an entire monster world. I think it's a really clean way to get rid of Mummy. Could happen. We'll see. Totally a rumor. Kind of my blue sky, to be honest. Julia wants to know when my merch is dropping. You really want one. So we will drop. I don't know if we're going to I take that back. I was going to say we're going to drop this long sleeve, but I actually don't know if we will. We have some other pieces of merch that we actually are thinking about dropping. I'll see if I can get it up for you guys on the screen here soon. But at this time, I think we're going to be dropping our merch probably within the next week or two. We're still kind of waiting to get things ironed out. It's still kind of not there just yet. But if I can get it pulled up, I'll show you guys. But we're about a week or two out from getting our merch ready. We're almost there. But this long sleeve will not be a part of the initial drop, but there is some really cool pieces that will be a part of the initial drop. And sorry, I'm on my phone here. I'm trying to get these pictures to you guys. I can actually pull it up here shortly. I wasn't expecting to be asked about the merch. But it should be out probably within the next week or two. That's my guess. Celine wants to know, would guests get to ride the full Secret Life of Pets during the ride soft opening? Yes, the answer is absolutely yes. A soft opening is just, the word soft opening is kind of just like a rough term for an early opening. So yeah, it's a full early opening. Everything in the ride tends to work during a soft opening for the most part, about 95%. But every scene, you go through every scene, the ride acts as normal. It's just, sometimes there's maybe there's a certain animatronic or a certain this or that doesn't work, and that's pretty much the extent of a soft opening. It'll be open. It'll be ready to go in a soft opening. Happy Place Explorer said, all I'm saying is people are getting everyone's expectations up for this refurb, thinking that Predator Cove will be fixed and more dinos are being added, and I'm worried that we're setting everyone up to be disappointed again. Not saying I'm not excited, but aren't you worried people are going to rip it apart again? Not attacking you, man. Just worried people are going to turn on the ride again. I think that's a very safe concern. Um, I don't think people despised Jurassic World when it opened. I think people tried to nitpick. I think people tried to say, this wasn't great, that wasn't great, this could have been better, this could have been better. And I have a feeling that Universal is going back to the drawing board and trying to address those concerns at least a little bit. To me, if Universal is listening to feedback and putting something in Predator Cove, updating the Indominus Rex, they're literally doing the things that are at the top 2 of everyone's list of how to improve this attraction. So I think at a certain point, you kind of have to step back and say, like, wow, Universal literally closed this ride for almost 2 months, put in the top 2 things that we've been complaining about, whether they're big changes or small changes. Universal literally listened to fan feedback, went back to the drawing board, added a few things just to appease fans. And I think at that point, if you're still complaining, it's not a problem with Universal Studios anymore. It might be a personal problem, as bad as that sounds. Um, but yeah, I don't think we're setting people up for failure. I don't think I don't think it's. I think it's going to be a good update. I truly do. And if people are disappointed by it or don't think it's what they hoped, then they just don't like the ride. But as far as the changes that are coming, they will be good changes. Will people be disappointed? Probably. I think there's always a disappointed person, but for the most part, I think we kind of have to just kind of be positive about it and be appreciative that Universal is going back and adding any changes at all. So that's kind of my take on it. I know you're not attacking me. I completely understand that. I just think that at the end of the day, they are doing something to address it, whether it's big or small. And I do think that people will be at least moderately impressed with the changes. That's my guess. It's better than when it opened. That's all I care about. Tron said, I think they should add a broken gyrosphere where the boat got attacked. Yeah, that's exactly what we said earlier. That maybe there will be a broken gyro. That's off to the left, as we discussed earlier. I've said it a few times now in this live stream already. I think it's going to be off to the right. I think it's going to be in the Indominus Rex area where the grass is and the broken railing. I think it'll be crashing there. Maybe have some smoke. That's my guess for where that's going to go. Oh, for those of you that were asking about the merch earlier, this is the current look at the merch. So you guys can tell me if you like it. You can tell me what you think. Let's see if I can point. There you go. There you go. Long sleeves, t-shirts, hoodies. There is some cool stuff. You can tell me what you guys think. For me personally, I want to cop the long sleeve. I want the black hoodie as well. I think they're pretty cool designs. But that's the opening day merch right there. It's not going to be what I'm wearing right now. So hopefully you guys do like this. I'm curious what you think. I'll take your feedback and we'll go from there. Falling gyrosphere. That's intense. That's like falling Jeep level. I don't know if we'll get that. But I think we might get a kind of a crashing. Maybe we'll get a little bit of movement with some smoke. That's what I'm hoping for. What do I like more? Orlando's Universal or Hollywood's Universal? Unequivocally, absolutely, I like Orlando's more. Hollywood's my home base. It's like home to me. I have the most nostalgia at Hollywood, but Universal's the better park and it's the better resort. Entertainer says Islands of Adventure is without a doubt the best theme park in the entire world. I don't know if it's the best in the entire world, but it's darn good. It's my favorite theme park. Absolutely. I still want to go to Tokyo Disney Sea, and I want to see what they're doing overseas at the Disney parks before I make the absolute statement that it's the best in the world. But as far as top 2 or 3 in America, I think that's a very, very safe bet. Johan wants to know, this is a really good question that I don't get asked a ton. What is my favorite defunct theme park ride? So what is my favorite theme park ride that no longer exists? I would actually really like to know what your guys is first before I even tackle that question. But for me, I think my favorite's Back to the Future. I really like Back to the Future, the ride. Not because it was a great ride or because it was, the most groundbreaking ride system or it just had, all the greatest theme park elements. I just love Back to the Future. I mean, you can tell right here I have the poster. So it was a lot of fun to be able to ride Back to the Future. So probably Back to the Future. That's pretty much at the top of my list. Chris says to take the gyrosphere from the tram tour area. Isn't that the actual legitimate gyrosphere too? How cool would that be to have an actual movie prop in the ride? I think that'd be pretty cool. Well, it won't happen, but man, that would be kind of cool. Julian wants to know if Secret Life of Pets is going to do boarding groups. So boarding groups is kind of an interesting way to put it. I don't know if you can necessarily call it boarding groups, but I think at the very least we're calling it virtual line. They're similar concepts. They're very similar. I don't think you're going to have to get to the park at opening. and they're going to sell out within the first minute of the park opening, like Disney's does. But I do think there's going to be some sort of pass, and it's going to be all on mobile. It's going to be like a mobile virtual line thing. There's going to be a bunch of times you can return to the ride. You click on it. That'll be it. Jay Walker just donated a super chat. Thank you so much, Jay. I can't thank you enough for doing that. It really means a lot to me. Thank you so much for coming to Theme Park Shark Live. Thanks so much for the super chat. What will be the price for Epic Universe? That is a very great question, and it's something that I wouldn't even want to tackle. Even though you did leave a super chat, it's not a question that I would even want to tackle, 3 years out? So I would just honestly look at the prices of Disney World, look at the prices of Universal today. Should be very much in line. They're not going to have a crazy upcharge just because there's a brand new theme park. If there is an upcharge, very slight. It's going to be right on par with the market standard. So nothing crazy for that. Dylan, if someone was going to Universal for the very first time ever, what attraction would I recommend riding or visiting first? Fantastic question, Dylan. Thank you so much for asking that question. It's a wonderful question. Depends which Universal. If you're at Hollywood, I think the very first attraction I would tell people to get on is the studio tour, believe it or not. I don't know how many attractions you're going to be able to get on while you're here, so I don't know what time frame you're working on. And if you just have one thing to get on really quick, you have to get on the tram because it's a very unique attraction to Hollywood. I'm curious what you guys think. You can tell me if you agree with what I'm saying. It's a unique attraction to Hollywood, A. It's B, it's pretty much the only way that you can go into the back lot, which is pretty much the most famous part of Universal Studios in general, company-wide, as their production back lot. Where else do you get to drive by Hill Valley from Back to the Future? There's like 2 or 3 attractions with actually in the tram. So it's multiple attractions in one. I think you got to get on the tram. It's the most Hollywood iconic thing. It's the most Hollywood-based thing. It's the most Hollywood exclusive. You got to get on the tram first. Rad Top Gun really wants to know, what brand of underwear do I wear? I guess this is a very important question, obviously related to theme parks. You're just going to spam it until I can answer this for you. So I tend to go with Under Armour. Sometimes I like Polo, Ralph Lauren. I don't know if there's any more, to be honest. Polo and Under Armour tend to be the two. Oh my God. Johan says his favorite defunct ride was Extraterrestrial Alien Encounter. The last time I went there was back in 2002, 1 year before it closed. Wow, that was a very intense attraction from what I can see, from what I've seen on video. I never got to experience that attraction myself, but I'm curious to know your thoughts. So definitely continue that in the comments. I want to know why you liked that attraction. If it was as intense as the rides make it look, I'm kind of curious. That's an interesting one. Joey, good to see you. Appreciate you coming in here. What did I think of Stingray while I was in San Antonio? I thought it was a fantastic. Why are we still asking about the underwear? This is gonna keep going, isn't it? Oh boy, I better get on YouTube here. I didn't think I was gonna have to do this. Hold on, guys. Putting this user in timeout. Okay. Joey, let me answer your question. What do I think of Texas Stingray? I thought it was a pretty fun coaster. Tallest, fastest, longest and wooden coaster in Texas. Can't really beat that, especially going to SeaWorld. That's really cool. So I had a good time. It was a great time. SeaWorld treated the entire event really nicely. Felt really taken care of there. It was a wonderful media event. Couldn't complain at all. Wonderful attraction. Hope to get out there again soon. I want to come out there and ride some of the other coasters that I haven't had a chance to get on, both there and at Fiesta Texas. So hopefully I will get out to San Antonio again within the next 3 to 4 months, hopefully. That's what I'm hoping. But yeah, it was fun. I have the point of view already on the channel if you want to check it out. Chris West, good to see you. Thanks for coming in here, Chris. Always appreciate you supporting the content. It's wonderful to see you, Chris. Thanks for being here. When do I think they will start real construction on Epic Universe? We have to be within 4 to 5 months. Just on the timeline of when the park is supposed to open, we have to be now within a 4, 5, or even 6 month period of when we're going to see some legit construction on Epic Universe. We are almost there. We are very close. Jeff is saying it's already underway. I agree, but I think what he's talking about is like legitimate vertical. Yeah, as you said, buildings going up next soon. I think that's what he's referring to when we're truly going to start seeing that action. We're not there yet, but soon. Chris said, "Did I have Whataburger?" I did have Whataburger in Texas. I think my very first meal off the plane was Whataburger. If I'm actually thinking back correctly, yeah, very first meal. Great question. Carlos, what hotel of Universal Orlando do I recommend? You're going very soon for the first time to Universal Orlando. Well, first of all, Carlos, great question. You're going to have an absolutely fantastic time at Universal Orlando. Those two parks, Universal Studios Florida, Islands of Adventure, my two pretty much favorite parks in the world. So you're going to have an absolutely fantastic time. If you can get to Disney, obviously try to. But if not, you're going to have a fantastic time at Universal Studios. Personally, I haven't gotten a chance yet to stay at any of the Universal Studios branded hotels. Hopefully, as I continue my YouTube channel and I keep growing my presence and I cover more Universal, maybe I'll get some invites or maybe I'll just go do it myself. But Jake, who runs the channel with me, he's stayed at pretty much all of them, and from what I hear, he really likes Hard Rock. So I hear a lot of good things about Hard Rock. I'm not. You guys can correct me if Hard Rock is a legit Universal hotel, but he's told me a lot of good things about Hard Rock. I don't know. If you do want to know the hotels that I have stayed at, I actually stay at the Renaissance, which is across the way from SeaWorld. I think that's a really fun hotel. It's not like incredibly themed or this, that, or the other. I just think it's nice and it's kind of a spacious and enjoyable hotel. That's generally where I stay when I go to Orlando. So Jeff said, "Who am I?" I just came up on your feed. My name's Dustin. I run a YouTube channel called The Theme Park Shark. Obviously, I've been doing this about 7 or 8 months now. I absolutely love the parks. I do a lot of POVs. I do vlogs from the park. I do top 5 videos where I rank like the top 5 best attractions at different parks. Do news videos where I speculate on the latest coming and I give everyone the latest news reviews. And then every Saturday night, I do this. I do Theme Park Shark Live. And yeah, every Saturday night. This is the second one, but every Saturday going forward, we're going to be doing Theme Park Shark Live, and I do appreciate you coming in here, Jeff. Chris said spicy ketchup is bomb. I haven't tried the spicy ketchup, but I hear everyone talk about it. This is still talking about Whataburger, obviously. Haven't tried the spicy ketchup yet, but maybe I will one day. Jay said, I sent you a super chat. I know. Thank you so much for that super chat. I answered your question also a little earlier. Can't tell you how appreciative I am for that super chat. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Jay. You're amazing. Entertainer says, kind of a hot take here. Universal Studios will become the weakest park in the resort once Epic Universe opens. I think that's open to people's opinions. But as far as the overall fan sentiment and the general take, I think you're probably right. I think you might be right. Yeah, you're probably right. Even though it has, think about this, a park that has Diagon Alley in it is going to be the worst of 3 parks. You have an incredible resort if a park with Diagon Alley in it is your 3rd park. Fantastic. Well done, Universal. Let's give him another applause on that one. Well done. Random Daily said, what is my favorite ride at Universal Studios Hollywood? You also said hi last Monday. Yes, I think I do remember you coming up and saying hello. Thank you so much for coming in the live stream. That's amazing that you saw this and you're in here. My favorite ride right now is probably Forbidden Journey. I don't necessarily have the most fun on that ride every time, but I think it's my favorite. I enjoy the history of it. I enjoy what it is. I think it's a technologically advanced ride. I love Forbidden Journey. But the ride I'm having the most fun on right now is probably Jurassic World. I think those are my 2. How about you? I'd love to know what yours are. Carlos said, do I recommend you do the VIP experience? I don't remember your initial comment. If it is your first time going, you can. Me and along with a lot of other people tend to say that the VIP experience isn't meant for people that have either experienced the park a few times before or tend to go frequently. So if this is your absolute first time or maybe even your second time, sure, do the VIP experience. You'll probably love it. But if it's not your first or second time, you probably don't need to do it. Random Eplo wants to know, what are my thoughts on Nintendo World and will it make Universal better? Well, it's not going to make it worse. I can tell you that much. Hollywood has the rare luxury of getting something before Orlando in this case. That hasn't happened a whole lot. It happened with Transformers, and it doesn't tend to happen a ton. But in this case, Hollywood is getting it first. We're not getting the grand version that Orlando is getting. Unfortunately, Orlando will have Yoshi, Mario Kart, and the Donkey Kong coaster. So unfortunately, we're not getting all three of those, at least immediately out of the gate when Nintendo World opens. But yeah, Nintendo World is going to make Universal Studios Hollywood incredible. Universal Studios Hollywood is a sleeping giant, guys. We're about to get the Jurassic World refurb. We have the best show in the company in Waterworld. We have the tram, which is unique to Hollywood. We have Forbidden Journey. We have Super Nintendo World about to open. We have the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. We have Secret Life of Pets, a dark ride opening. Something might happen in the near future to Despicable Me. Something might happen in the near future to Mummy. Hollywood is becoming a game-changing park, and it's going to happen within the next 5 or 6 years that a lot of people are going to look at Hollywood and say, what happened? It's going to happen before your eyes. It's going to become a really good park. Just wait on it. They're almost there. They're almost there. Jeff said we should do drinks. You worked 13 years at Disney and 7 at Universal. That is incredible. Yeah, I do tend to meet up with people here and there. Definitely hit me up. Send me a DM on Instagram. I'll get back to you. Julian said, just started my YouTube channel. I'm planning on doing theme park videos for Disney, Universal, and SeaWorld. First of all, Julian, amazing way to get started. Just keep putting out videos. Do what you love. Do what you enjoy. Don't make videos that aren't interesting to you, like because you think other people might be interested in it. Make the videos that you enjoy. Make the videos that you love, and I think you'll have a great time doing this. It's a lot of fun being a theme park YouTuber. Chris says, if only Universal Hollywood had Diagon Alley. Yeah, I think that's the that's the big thing. If only, right? The way the park is currently laid out, don't have a ton of room for it. There'd have to be some big changes to get Diagon Alley in there. Maybe one day, but personally, I just don't see it happening. I think the farther and further away we get from the initial opening of Diagon Alley in Orlando, the less likely that opening in Hollywood becomes. Joanne wants to know what I think of Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens, Tampa, Florida. I want to be there to ride it on opening. Haven't got an invite yet, but I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be groundbreaking. I think it's going to be fun. I haven't been to Busch Gardens, Tampa yet. That would be my first trip to the park if I did go for this coaster. So I want to go. I want to see it. If anybody knows anybody at Busch Gardens that can send me an invite, I would love to go. If not, I'll probably work out something with Jake and we'll just go ourselves and check it out. But yeah, I'm very excited for that coaster. It looks like it's going to be fantastic. I've been keeping up with all of the construction updates on it. I've been keeping up with everyone talking about it. Seems like it's going to be a very fun and crazy coaster for sure. Random Daily said, the favorite ride at Universal Studios Hollywood is probably Revenge of the Mummy. And I know this isn't a ride, but I love Studio Tour. It's a really fun way to learn the history of Universal. I absolutely agree with you. The Studio Tour is an incredible part of Universal Studios Hollywood. It's literally the only place in the world where you can truly go to a theme park. And then in addition to your theme park experience, you get a legit tour of an actual working movie backlot. It's incredible. There's so much history there. It's an incredible attraction. I completely agree with you. That's why I said earlier, if you can only go on one thing at Universal Studios Hollywood, probably go to the tram. But your favorite ride being Mummy, that's kind of surprising to me. I think it's the most thrilling, so I understand. But man, I've always kind of felt that Mummy needs a change or two, especially near the ending. Because our Mummy in Hollywood, especially, the ending doesn't make a lot of sense. There's a big boom, there's fog, the ride's over, you turn around, and the big wall comes up. I'm not a big fan of that ending. Andrew says, if I could have any Universal Orlando ride in Hollywood, what ride would I choose? Kong and Supercharged included. Well, okay, I see why you're saying Kong and Supercharged because we technically have them, but I wasn't going to pick them anyways. If I could have any ride, my favorite ride in Orlando is actually Escape from Gringotts at Universal, obviously my favorite ride. But that's not the ride that I would pick because I don't think it's the ride that the park needs. So for this specific question, I'm going to go kind of separate myself from what I enjoy, and I'm going to go for Park Need. And I always think Park Need is a more intense coaster type ride. So I'm actually going to go for, I'm not going to go for Hulk just because I think it's impossible. I'm not going to go for Rip Ride Rocket. I also think it's impossible. Just don't fit in the park, and they don't fit the rules of the park and like the noise levels and such. So I'm going to go for something that might be a little more doable and still fits the bill. Hagrid's. We need Hagrid's in Hollywood. That is the one attraction that I would immediately today dropped from Orlando into Hollywood as Hagrid, without question. Chris says you wonder why they opened up Fallon at Orlando rather than Secret Life of Pets. I don't know if Secret Life of Pets was ever on the table from Orlando, to be honest. And I think the fact that they both are utilizing this virtual queue, a lot of people are liking Fallon to Secret Life of Pets, but they are completely different attractions that take up completely different amounts of space. So I don't think they're too much alike, if we're being completely honest, outside of the fact that they both have virtual queue. But that also just seems to be a way that Universal's probably going to lean in general over the next few attractions, especially if they lack a ton of space for queue. So don't compare those attractions. I wouldn't compare those too much. I'm officially going to start the final countdown. We're at the final 10-minute countdown of the live stream. So if you guys are in here, this is definitely the last time, absolutely the last time that you can get in your questions. If you are just joining us, I see we're approaching 40 now. If you are just joining us, this is Theme Park Shark Live. We do this every Saturday night now. I come on, I answer all of you guys' theme park questions. It's a really cool thing that we do because there's so much news and there's so much that's always changing in theme parks. So something I might have told you last Saturday could potentially change by the time next Saturday comes around, just by the information I'm getting, things that are changing in the park. So it's a really cool thing to just, hey, come on in real quick, join the live stream, get caught up to date with all of the latest happening in the parks. And it's something really fun that we're doing where you guys actually get to dictate what we do and ask all the questions. So I think that's really cool. Let me answer some of your guys' final questions here. Jay Walker, thank you so much for another super chat. I can't thank you enough for saying another super chat. It's absolutely incredible. Gonna answer your question. The Bourne stunt show, is that a 30-minute show? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be 30. I think it's probably going to be a lot shorter, maybe in the ballpark of 15. 30 is pretty steep. But if anything, we know it's going to be a pretty fantastic show. We'll get confirmation as the days and weeks go on and we kind of approach that first soft opening. But for now, I don't think anybody's speculating that's going to be exactly that long. But what we do know is that the finale is absolutely spectacular. Just given on the vlog that we actually did go out and film where the finale blew open the exit doors. I've never seen an attraction that could blow open the exit doors from a finale. So I'm excited for the show. I think there's a lot of reason to be excited. So it's gonna be good. Random said, you agree that Mummy needs a makeover. The ending is really awkward and it's a weird storyline. Yeah, if anything, those are my two only complaints with Mummy as well in Hollywood. It's just the storyline and it's the really awkward ending. It's actually kind of funny. There's always a weird moment of silence during that ending where I tend to say something. Like I'll say something really obscure like, oh, that was a ripoff, just to make everyone in the cart laugh. It's really bizarre to have that loud of a ride all of a sudden go silent. So it creates some funny moments if you take advantage of it. Jacob, good to see you. Thanks for coming in here, Jacob. It's wonderful to see you. Thank you so much for coming in here. And thank you everyone that has sent a super chat in this live stream. That's amazing. I never expect to get super chats when I do these. So that if you did send a super chat, I'm so appreciative. And I can't thank you guys enough for sending those super chats. It's absolutely amazing and incredible. And it definitely encourages me to keep doing these Saturday Night Lives with you guys. Seems like you're enjoying them. So I do appreciate that so much. 7 minutes and 12 seconds to go on the live stream. If you have a question that hasn't been answered yet, something that's been on your mind, just a thought, just a comment, doesn't even have to be a question. If you have something that needs to be put in, now is the time so that I can get to it here in the final 7 minutes of the live stream. Let's see. Chris says it would be cool if Universal Studios Hollywood had a parade. I absolutely agree. I think a parade is pretty much one of the final things that Universal Studios Hollywood needs once Pets opens, once Nintendo opens, and once we see whatever comes after Nintendo. I think a parade is pretty much the only thing the park needs to truly tie everything together, make it a full day park. The experience is pretty much complete at that point. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Hector's saying that Mummy could be made into a Universal Monsters coaster. You even mentioned that to JP Land. No matter what Mummy becomes, I think it'd be really cool too if it does become some sort of monster-based attraction. Just for the fact that we're going to lose a monster property in Mummy. So it would be cool if we do lose it. Earlier in the stream, I'm not sure if you were here, I mentioned how amazing it would be if we got Epic Universe's Classic Monsters World, where Mummy is, and maybe knock out some sound stages in the back to make that another fully fleshed out world down there. I think that would be fantastic too. We'll definitely see. if it happens. But man, that'd be pretty cool. Sophia wants to know what my favorite park at Disney World is. I really like Animal Kingdom and I like Epcot. Those are probably my top two. If I had to pick one, probably give it to Epcot. I think Epcot's a unique park. I don't like it because of the rides. I don't like it necessarily because of the rides and shows there. I like it just because of the experience. I like to walk around the world. I like to see the lagoon. I like the shows there at night, the fireworks shows. So probably Epcot. I really like Epcot. But it's kind of funny because I think I like it because it's so different. It doesn't remind me of the prototypical theme park, so I think that's probably why. Sophia wants to know what my favorite thing to do in my free time is. A wonderful question because I've been spending so much time at theme parks. Love to spend time with my girlfriend. I'm always doing homework. I'm still in school, so I'm doing that. But definitely spend time with my girlfriend. I love to go to the gym. And yeah, I don't play too many video games. I don't do things like that. But it's honestly it's so crazy. I've been spending so much time on the channel and either at the park or something. I've almost lost track of what am I doing in my free time. But I love to watch movies and TV shows too. But if I can definitely get a day away, go to the beach, things like that, I definitely love doing that kind of stuff. Hector wants to know how I would like to see the Robo Coaster at Universal's Monster Attraction be. Basically, just Forbidden Journey on a roller coaster track. Sorry, I'm not going to be too in depth on these questions anymore because I want to answer a lot of them. Entertainer, Epcot really needs more thrills. Yeah, probably right. That's the extent of my answer. We need a West Coast Volcano Bay. Would be cool. Could be cool. Sophia, this is a good question, so I'll try to be a little more in depth with you. If you're going to Disney for the first time, what are some things that you're going to need to know? First and foremost, Rise of the Resistance, the brand new Star Wars attraction. You're going to want to get on it. You need to be there before the park opens. You need to be in line and ready to get in the park. The second the park opens, you need to be in the gate of the park, and you need to have the Disneyland or Disney World, whatever app or whatever park you're at. I'm not sure which one you're going to, but whichever one you're at, have the app ready and be ready. The second the clock strikes 8 or 7, whatever, whenever the park opens, be ready on your app, get your boarding pass. And outside of that, have a great time. If you are at Disneyland, do invest in the Fast Pass. It's a really great investment. Not only do you get, Fast Pass for every attraction that's listed, but you also get free photos. So if you see any photographer in the park, they'll take photos of you and your family. They scan a code on your phone, and all of the professional shot photos get shot over to your phone. It's a great investment, and it's honestly my favorite thing to do at Disneyland is every time I go, I make the investment in MaxPass. Do I think that the double launch coaster at Epic Universe is West Coast Racers? No. It might be a similar type ride, but it's not West Coast Racers. Jeff, follow me on Instagram. That's usually the best way to get in touch with me. Theme Park Shark, definitely the best way. Dylan, what's Michael Topsy up to nowadays? I don't know. I don't talk to Michael too much. I do appreciate you coming in here, Dylan. Are you subscribed? How'd you even find out I was live? It's wonderful you're in here, Dylan. I can't thank you enough. You're going to go to Disney World next week. What rides you have to do? You have to do Rise of the Resistance. And then if you get to Animal Kingdom, try to get on Expedition Everest and try to get on Tower of Terror as well, which is also where Rise of the Resistance is at Hollywood Studios. So it's a classic attraction. Definitely get on Tower of Terror. So try to get on those two. Those are really good ones. Chris says, can I do a video that explains how Fast Pass and Max Pass works? Amazing idea, because I honestly don't think to do videos like that. I always think oh, that's given knowledge. People should know how to do that. So a really good idea and a really good comment that you just made. I will make a video like that. That's a great idea. Great job, Chris. Could I shout out the IG one more time? Yes. Follow Hector Navarro on IG. Put your Instagram on the next comment so I can add it to the stream again. Jeff says Hollywood needs to buy the golf course and expand the park. Absolutely, but it's probably not going to happen. That's a very prestigious golf course. A lot of celebrities play there. It's like an LA landmark essentially. It'll be nice. I hope it happens soon. I hope it happens eventually at all. But man, it's going to be tough to get that one. Dylan says, I'm subscribed. Let's catch up soon. Love the content. Thank you, Dylan. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you subscribing. I actually do have some things to tell you about Michael. So if you DM me or just get in touch with me, I'll tell you the latest I've heard on Michael. But it's great. It's great that you're here. I really appreciate that you're subscribed and coming in. That means a lot to me. Noel said, you went to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios in Florida And the mazes were awesome in 2017. That's amazing. Hopefully, you can go again to Horror Nights. I'm not a big horror fan myself. I tell people this all the time. But I still kind of enjoyed and appreciated Horror Nights here in Hollywood when I went last year. So, yeah, if you can go again, that'd be awesome. SolidWorks Studios said that you got up at 2 a.m. to ride Rise of Resistance, and it's mediocre. You thought it'd be better if Star Wars had thrills, and this ride was far from that. Completely agree. I think the ride needs more thrills, but I think it's absolutely amazing from a thematical standpoint. And if you are a fan of theme parks, generally you are going to appreciate theming and how well things are done in that respect. But I do agree with you that that ride could use more thrills. A lot of people ask me what I appreciate more between Hagrid's at Islands of Adventure and Rise of Resistance. Rise of Resistance, great theming. Hagrid's more fun. I think this comment kind of solidifies that. And that ends it, guys. That our timer is done. That ends the live stream. That's it. I can't thank you guys enough for coming in another episode of Theme Park Shark Live. Like I said, guys, we're going to do this absolutely every Saturday. If you do want to support the stream, I have support links in the description below. There's plenty of ways to donate. You can even join our Patreon, which is basically our official Theme Park Shark Club. You get news and information before it hits our YouTube, before it hits the live stream, before it even hits our website. You also get a 6-month swag bag every 6 months that includes really cool merchandise if you are a part of our Patreon club. It's a really cool thing, and we're doing it every 6 months, like I said. Jay, just because you did another super chat, I'll answer your last question before we head out. Do I think Zelda will be in Epic Universe? No. I don't think Zelda will be there initially. If at all, it'll be in the expansion plot that's currently slated right next to Nintendo and in between monsters. There's an expansion plot. If Zelda ever gets to that park, it'll go after the opening and in that expansion plot. But even in that case, we're still thinking that's probably going to be slated for Pokemon. So if Zelda goes anywhere, keep it on your mind that that's probably going to Islands of Adventure. Thank you guys so much. I see all the nice comments. I see all the support. I love coming in here. I'm going to keep spending these Saturday nights with you guys every Saturday night. Right around this time. Don't forget, we're going to keep doing Theme Park Shark Live. If you guys aren't following me, definitely go follow me on Twitter at Theme Park Shark. You can follow me on Instagram as well. I answer DMs all the time. I talk to you guys all the time on Instagram. I love chatting with you guys. So I definitely try to stay in touch with all of you on Instagram and on Twitter. But for now, thank you guys so much for coming to another episode of Theme Park Shark Live. I will see all of you guys in the next one, next Saturday. Have a great week. Have a great rest of your weekend. And I will see you guys next week. Take care, guys.